notice. But the important part of this particular program is training. You must train your staff, and I'm saying right at the very beginning, focus on the receptionist. The receptionist is the first one who will have contact with the particular agent or agents, which is usually the case, more than one. They will appear. They will usually appear unannounced, and they will walk in and they will say, we're from the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. If you're in E-Verify, they may say, we're here to pick up your I-9 forms, or they may give you a notice. And the important thing is for the receptionist not to make critical decisions. Point number one, your receptionist must be trained that immediately upon presentation of any documentation or the presence of a federal officer to immediately notify either senior HR counsel or your own legal counsel, certainly someone who's familiar with this. I'm going to give a self-serving plug here, 1-800-VISA-LAW, call and ask for TL. That actually is our telephone number, but at the last minute you could always call and ask for TL or Bernie if this were to happen. Now, the standard instructions that I will give all staff is, number one, cooperate. I've only mentioned that 3 times. And number 2, have a look at the notice. What is the notice? Is it a warrant? Is it a subpoena? Is it a requirement to produce documents? What is it that the officer is after? Generally speaking, you will be given a notice that gives you up to 3 days to present your I-9s and to have your I-9s ready. And at that point, it also presents a very unique opportunity to review your I-9s. All of you will get the message that I'm going to present today is that the first thing you should focus on at the end of this presentation is an internal I-9 audit. I can assure you that there's not a single listener on this call that has their I-9s in order. Some of you have been working on it. Some of you have been diligent about it. But I have never seen a set of I-9s with 10 or more employees where the I-9s are done correctly and done in an updated and correct manner. So from that point of view, you certainly want to focus on doing your own internal audits to ensure compliance with the Immigration Reform and Control Act and to ensure that you have all of your I-9s in order. Moving on to another area of enforcement that we will not be spending a lot of time, but if you have foreign nationals in your workforce, and this is beyond the scope of the I-9 audit, we do want to bring to your attention that this administration, unlike previous administrations, has massively increased the number of worksite visits. Department of Homeland Security is targeting those employers who have filed H-1B and L-1 visas. There is a new office within the Department of Homeland Security known as the Office of Fraud Detection and National Security. They have hired some 1,500 investigators. I call them rent-a-cops because, quite frankly, they just really don't know very much about immigration, but they have a long and somewhat scary checklist. And they have been, they've given us public notice that they will be doing at least 25,000 unannounced visits. That is 25,000. 20,000 cases have been sent in from each of the service centers, and there is no question that if you are filing immigration petitions, that you can expect an officer to appear with a checklist. This is different from the I-9 framework, but we just wanted to bring to your attention that audits are the name of the game, whether it is Department of Labor perm audits, H-1B audits, or the focus of today's presentation, which is I-9, the Employee Verification Framework. For those of you who are absolutely new to this particular area, the I-9 is the form that the employer must complete on day 1, initially by the employee, and within 3 days of hire to verify that the individual is authorized to be employed. And of course, this applies not only to foreign nationals, but the entire company. So after this program, walk into the CEO's office and say, sir, we do not have, or ma'am, we do not have an I-9 on file for you. I'm sorry, but you're in violation of the current immigration reform. Please excuse my somewhat weak humor as we get through this topic, but the jokes are not good, but I'll keep making them anyway. The I-9 gets a makeover. The new Form I-9 became effective on April 3, 2009. The I-9 revision date is, and you'll see this on the bottom of the form, on the bottom right-hand corner of the form, with the revision date 020909 on the bottom right-hand corner of all pages. The new revised I-9 form issued on August 2007, did I say August 27, 2009, with the revision date of 080709, has an expiration date of 8/31 let's try again, August 31, 2012. Both versions are currently acceptable. If you're struggling to find the form, it's really easy. Just Google the word Form I-9. Best to use the version that has 080709 on the bottom right-hand corner, although the other one is still in use. Very minor variations on the form. The form is a one-page form. It's, as I have mentioned, a deceptively difficult form. What has happened in this new form is that the government has tried to limit the number of documents that may be used. And to get some basic idea of how this form works and what it's all about for those of you who have no experience, there are two fundamental frameworks in terms of showing your right to be employed in the United States. Section 1 of this form is the basic information on the person who's being hired. Section 2 are the documents that that one needs to present in order to show a permission to be employed, and Section 3 is the certification element or the bottom of Section 2 is the certification element that the documents have been checked. What is fundamentally changed within this framework is that all documents presented during the Form I-9 process must be unexpired. In the past, for example, an expired U.S. passport could in fact be presented. That is no longer permissible. The other important thing is all List B documents. The List B documents are the identification documents. What is an identification document? That is to prove who is the person in front of you. So a driver's license, for example, Bernie Wolfstorf's driver's license would presumably show that Bernie Wolfstorf is who he claims to be. The addition is the new U.S. passport card was listed to List A on the back of, or as part of the attachment, if you printed it up, is the list of acceptable documents. List A is the document which shows both the right to be employed and the identification. Obviously, a U.S. passport will do both of those, show, number one, that you are, in fact, a U.S. citizen who you claim to be and authorized to be employed in the United States. In addition, in terms of the makeover of the Form I-9, is that on August 8, 2008, the new U.S. passport card that's proving to be quite popular was added to List A and as an acceptable evidence of both the right to be employed and the identification of the bearer. Other changes that are important to the I-9, effective December 2007, is eliminated from the List A were the Certificate of Naturalization. I don't know why. Looks like a good document to me. And the unexpired re-entry permit, sometimes referred to as the white passport or re-entry permit that is quite popular. Those documents may no longer be used, even though they would prove that the individual is a citizen or green card holder. They are no longer acceptable. The idea was to simplify the process and limit the number of documents, but please be careful to ensure that you use an acceptable document, otherwise you may well have a technical violation. M274 Handbook for Employers. The